Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jones Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cool bat. Little bat for Halloween. I wanted to make a cute one with big ears. Shout out to all my patrons who make this possible. I would not be doing this right now if it weren't for you guys, so thank you all so much. I'll put a list of all the details of joining Patreon if you're interested in supporting me in the description below. Thanks guys. To make this pendant you'll need 0.8mm wire, which is 20 gauge, and I've just cut the one length at 14 inches, which is 36 centimeters. You'll need 0.315mm weaving wire, which is 28 gauge. I've wound about 100 centimeters onto my bobbin. I don't know if you're going to need that much, or you might need a bit more. I'll correct it on the screen. So this is just wound onto, this is like a little Bobeeze bobbin from Beadsmith. You just wind your longer lengths on there, and that sort of lies down by your side. Saves having to work with the longer lengths. You can cut shorter lengths if you want to, if you don't have one of these. I'm not sponsored by Beadsmith at all. Small stone, mine is 8 by 5. Mine's got a pointy back. If yours has got a flat back, that will be fine. What else have I got? We're going to need some small jump rings. I'm not sure yet, so I'll add those to the screen when I've worked out what they're going to be. So tools, we've got pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters and nylon pliers. If you don't have nylon pliers, don't worry. I just like having these handy for flattening weaves and straightening wires, so they're just nice to have handy, but if you don't have these, don't worry about it. And all of my tools are Tronex. I'll put a list below of what those tools are if you want to have a look. Oh, apart from my nylon pliers, which are prestige. I really like these, and they're nice and cheap, and seeing as they're so useful, they're really worth, you know, getting some if you haven't already. So take your length of wire, cut it to the length that I have, find the center of the wire, and we're going to bend it into a V. We're going to scoop the wires over. So we've got a point at the bottom, and they kind of come over, making like an oval kind of shape. Whoop. And this shape needs to be big enough to sit your stone in. So if you put your stone flat, it needs to be able to fit inside that shape. So then we're going to weave along that little shape there. So take your weaving wire and we'll wrap a few times around one of those wires. Slide it right the way down to the bottom. To make this a little bit easier for weaving, we can bend these wires out at the top. Do you know what I mean? So where they cross, bend them out. It makes it a bit easier. So holding the bottom here, you can hold the tail end as well to keep it down. We're going to go over the opposite wire. We're going to wrap around a few times. Push it down. Then we're going to go over the opposite wire. Push it down and go around a few times. Come over again over the opposite wire, so we're going to keep doing that. So we're kind of doing like like a bale weave, but we're going around this little shape that we've made for our stone. Go around a few times, press it down over the opposite wire. We're going to keep doing this till we get to the end, so take your time with it. And this is like the bed for our stone to sit on. Keep compressing it together as you go. Are we going twice or 3 times? I think I'm going twice, am I? And then over the other side. So keep weaving till you reach the top. I say push it down as you go. It's better to pull it down, so you're holding the bottom and pull the weaves down as you go. So keep going till you reach like the neck there at the top. So finish that weave with a few wraps around one of the top wires. We'll cut that wire. I'm going to leave a little tail end in case I need to alter it, because I do tend to keep changing my mind as I go. And next we're going to shape the top wires. So we're going to make some cute little bat wings, and then it's entirely up to you what kind of shape you're going to go for. I'm going for a scoop that's quite high on each side. So bend the wire out to the side and then scoop the wire over. So now you need to work out the length that you want these bat wings to be. So I'm going to kind of go for this kind of length. I don't think we want them any bigger than that. And that is 2 centimetres from the base. So just less than an inch. So grip the wire at that point with the tip of your pliers, and we're going to bend it over to the back, and we want it, it's hard to show you because I'm too close, we want it bent right over, and then squeeze that. Gracie's guarding me from all the sounds outside. So then that wire, to shape our wing, is going to then scoop the other way, like this. So our top bend goes over a little, and then this bend comes under like that. So we need to do the other side, so measure it the same. Grip the wire, bend it over to the back, give it a little squeeze, and scoop that wire around as you did for the other one. So we're matching up the 2 sides. So we need a bit of a scoop in these top wires, and then these wires come out. And if you imagine a distance between the point to this point, this wire needs to come out kind of in the middle, and this side kind of needs to come out in the middle. You can grip the end of that as well with pliers to pull the wire away, so you get a bit nice gap here. And if this bend starts coming up, you can use your pliers to just tip it back down. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. So again, draw an imaginary line from here to here. Here on the wing, we need to grip that wire again with the tip of your pliers. We're going to bend it again over the back and give it a squeeze as we did for the top one, and then like we did, this wire is going to come this way. What you can do is you can hold the tip of that point that we've just squeezed and bring the wire around. She says like it's nice and easy. I've got a gap there, so we just need to squeeze that a little more. You can see the shape starting to take place. So we need to do the same with this one. Imaginary line between point and point. Grip that wire. Bend it over to the back. Squeeze the tip. Whoops. Oh, come on. And then hold that tip. I think I've bent it a bit doing that. And bring that wire down. And then we just need to play with those wires and adjust them so that they are kind of symmetrical. And we've got our wings. So adjust your wires so that they match up. So bring your two wires. We're going to use this little tail end from earlier, so I'll emphasise at the beginning that we need to leave a tail end. We're going to bring these two wires kind of to the back of this. This is the body of our bat. We're going to kind of bring these wires to the back a little, just so they sit behind. And we're going to bring them down. Like that. And then take that little tail end. We're going to wrap around both of the wires a few times. So once you've wrapped around a couple of times, then take that wire around a single wire a few times, just so it holds those wires together in place at the bottom there. Bring your wires back together. So if you're working with a pointy back stone, the point can press into the weave if I can find it. Come here. So you can press your stone so the point sits into the weave. Do you know what I mean? So the weave kind of cups the back of the stone. If your stone's flat, then it's fine. You just need to make sure that the edges don't come over the edges of those wires so it fits inside that shape. So we're going to bend these wires up over the front. So let's just press that weave together a little bit, those wraps. We want the wires together. We're going to bend them over the front. And in doing that, you just want to make sure that it hasn't misshaped the wings. I might put a little bit of weave on the bottom of there actually. So I'm going to suggest that your tail end from the beginning is a little bit longer and that you add a little bit of weave up here. Obviously, because I haven't done that, I'm going to add the weave now. I'll show you what I'm going to do, but I'm hoping that you've done it the other way and I'll advise that. on the screen. So I'm just going to go around the wires a couple of times, come up between, I'm going to go around the top and around the bottom. It's a little bit tricky to hold, so it should be easier to do it the way I'm suggesting to you, so the wires are still straight. Around a couple of times, around the top and around the bottom. Really push your weaves together, and then bend your weave over the bottom and bring it up. So make sure you finish your weave with a couple of wraps around the one side. I'm going to cut that wire and press the little flat end down. So I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So what I want you to do is to position your stone against the weave, the bale weave, and push it in, and then part the front wires. Scoop the front wires over the front of the stone. So bring both wires around the top edge of the stone and let them cross at the top there. So secure it on both sides. Then I want you to hold the wires at the front against the stone and take the end around that top wire of the wing. Bring it all the way around, grab your pliers and tighten that wire around that top wire. Do that on both sides and check that the stone is firmly held in place as you do. And then we're going to scoop the wires in, and we're just going to finish off with some little cute ears, because I know it's all horror and scary and back to scary and everything, but they're also the cutest, aren't they? So we're gonna do some cute ears. Scoop the wires in and out. So scoop the wires in and then bend them up, in and up like that, and then flip around those pliers. We're going to bend that wire over the front. Give it a little wiggle, holding the end, so that we've got a bend, and it's not exactly together, but we've got like a little loop at the top, so we can pop a jump ring through there. And again on the other side at about the same height, just on the end, we're going to bend it over. Probably need it a bit further in than the end actually. Give it a little wiggle. And then we're going to hold the end of that bend, pull the wire, make sure I've got it, pull the wire out to the side. And then scoop that wire in. So you've got some cute little ears. So bring the wires together here at the base, and we're going to bend them out. We're going to kind of bend them down so we can join them together. And we're just going to do a little bit of a weave here at the top, join it all together. So take your weaving wire, you can see I didn't start centrally on my wires at all. Wrap a few times around one of those wires. Do a similar weave to the bottom. So where those wires come together, I've just realised how quiet I'm talking, I'm ever so sorry. I'll try and speak up. So this is Cal from the future. And I've just come back to say we're going to do this weave a little bit different, and I've just undone mine. So if my wires look a little bit different, that's because I weaved and now I've undone it. So we're going to wrap a few times around this bottom wire. We're going to go around the 2 wires. We're going to come up between. I'm going to go around the top wire and around the bottom wire. And then I'm going to go around the whole thing because I really want to strap this weave down in place, and I forgot to the first time. So to then take your weaving wire around the whole thing, and we'll go around a couple of times. So we're strapping down these top wires in place. To pull it nice and tightly. And then we'll come back up, go between the wires, and we'll go around the top wire and around the bottom wire, and only weave as much to fill this gap in the middle. Don't go over your stone. So finish with a few wraps around one of the wires. If you can fit another weave on, do that. If you can't, you need to make it a bit shorter. So we want a tiny bit of weave holding those wires together below the ears, and we want it to be strapped to the back. Then we're going to cut the weaving wire at both ends. Make sure you've wrapped around a couple of times to finish that weave there. Grace is happy. And then part your wires there. So pull the wires apart at the bottom of the weave. This just helps secure the stone a bit better if you've got a wire coming down each side there. It'll hold the stone in a bit better. And then take those wires down, and we're just going to take them around. So take the end around, holding it down in place. We're just going to go around the bottom of that wing. And on this side, take it around quite close, so you've still got your wire next to your stone, and that comes around so it's very close there at the bottom of that wing. And we need to level it off with the other side. Do you want to try and match up the heights? Because the wire is a little loose around the bottom, it doesn't come up in a particular place. These can end up being different heights. My one side is a bit lower, so I'm going to bring this side up a little, but not too much, because I want that wire to still sit down the side of the stone. So try and match up the heights. I think I'm getting quite a butterfly look to it, you know. It looks a bit butterfly-y. So I've done it again. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. All I'm going to say, press the bottom wires around to the back, cut them off and press them around. Now we're going to add a jump ring to those ears at the top. So grab your 12mm jump ring and pop them through the ear bits at the top. I thought I was doing the video then and I wasn't, so I'll take it apart and I'll show you again. I've just made this triple jumping. You know when you wrap your wire around your pliers 3 times, I've cut it off at angles so it's not spiky or going to catch on anything. Pop that onto here, and I can bend this with my fingers because it's so massive. And I was just saying, and I didn't realise I wasn't recording, this looks quite butterfly-y, so I think as soon as the weather warms up we're going to have to do a similar butterfly, but with lots of swirls and curls. So there we have him. I'm going to run and oxidise him so I can show you. So there we have it, finished. I've oxidised mine. If you'd like help oxidising yours, I've done videos on oxidising and aftercare. So I'll put links to all that in the description below. Shout out to all my Patreons. Thank you for your continued support. This is awesome. I can now give you more videos and you'll be watching them all ad-free over on Patreon. So I'm going to list you all on the screen. Thank you all so much for making this possible. Bye for now, guys. Bye.